Hi guys, welcome back for another battle report, and it's the Saga one and game one of the Dice and Daggers Gaming Club Saga event. So how this was run is we had 4 games. We had a singles game, then 2 doubles games, and we finished on a singles game. The winner went to the player who won the most games. You get 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, and none for a loss. And if that ties, is then your massacre points, because all these battles are Clash of Warlords. It's a standard one from the book. And if that matches, then it's your opponent's, add up your opponent's score, and whoever played the highest scoring opponents wins. So that's how we started off. This is my, let's say, game 1 up against the Vikings with my Welsh, and we'll have a quick look at what's in the army. So looking at the armies, in the Viking warband we have 2 units of 4 Hearthguard and 2 units of 8 warriors. And then in the Welsh warband, which is mine, it's all warriors separated into a unit of 10, 11, 11. I like this. It was nice and chunky, it was pretty solid, and yeah, definitely worked out for me. So into the deployment, we're looking at the Viking left flank, my right, and you see in the background there he's got a warlord, his Hearthguard. Hearthguard is on the hill there as well, and at the front here's warriors. Everyone's spread out because the setup for this one is where you set up 12 long in, and you have to stay medium apart from everyone else. And finally on his right he's got his other unit of 8 warriors. So on my right I have my unit of 10 warriors. In the centre I have a unit of 11 warriors backed up behind by my warlord. And then finally on my left I've got my other unit of 11 warriors. So I got first turn, and with my 3 dice I just put some Saga abilities down and then used my manoeuvres and my warlord's determination to start moving my troops up. My opponent does the same. He puts some abilities down and starts moving his warriors up. He's managed to use the ability called Odin. I really didn't like this ability. It stopped me using my javelins quite a lot in this game. Basically, if I shoot at them, that unit's immediately exhausted, or takes enough fatigue to become exhausted. Yes, that's not nice. So I move up to here and do several moves to get there. Throw some javelins, manage to kill off one of those guys, and then my guys will become exhausted. So I then decided to charge my large unit of 11 warriors into his small unit of 8. And I don't remember what his abilities were, but one of them was Thor, which turns any 6 he rolls into 2 hits. And that was rather savage. That's one to remember with the Vikings, not to use when I charge in, if he's got it. Yeah, so I lost 8 of my warriors and only managed to kill 1 of his. That was horribly disappointing. So I've moved these guys. Luckily they're a unit of 11. If say for a unit of 8 they would have been wiped out completely and lost me a Saga dice. I've lost Saga dice, but I've still got some models left at the moment, so they'll back off shortly. My warlord comes up and starts throwing some javelins as well, and charges in. Whether I would have thought this is probably on my turn. It's a problem with the Welsh. I can't keep up remembering which is in my turn, which one was in my opponent's turn when I did the action. But I assume this is my turn, and I go in to try and reduce another Saga dice off my opponent, since I've lost one. Managed to kill all but one of them, so he scarpers, but that's enough to drop him the Saga dice. So we're looking at something like this. So my opponent chucks in what remains of his Hearthguard. I think there was 3 of these guys left. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's 3 of them. I managed to survive, got back down some fatigue, and managed to knock 2 of them off. But he then came in with his warlord, and yeah, just hammered the hell out of me. There's not much I could do there. But I believe this is probably in his turn. He's probably moved somewhere else. So I've used my free charge to go in and have it finish off this one warrior there. That should put some fatigue on what he's got left, which does, and that makes the warlord exhausted, which is now ideal. I can now easily go in or shoot him and just try and finish him off that way. Again, maybe because Odin was up, I decided not to shoot and end up going in, I believe. So here's how we're looking. So my turn, yep, I go in because shooting wouldn't work due to the fact that yeah, that he had Odin up, so I'd have exhausted my units. So I had a chance to rest these guys up. I think I lost some fatigue. Oh, this is after spending fatigue. That's why he's down 1 as well. My opponent went defensive. So fewer dice and all that. So he only ended up killing 1 of mine, and I managed to kill him off. So well happy with that. And with him spending my fatigue minute, I only had 1 fatigue on me, so I went straight in and tried to kill off the other 1 Hearthguard, which I do. So now we're looking something like this. With some reaction ability, I don't know which one it was, or he might have charged me, I'm not entirely sure. I think I charged him. I'm looking at the position of where they were before the combat. Yeah, it looks like I probably charged him. Yeah, I would have thought so. With the few little damage I took, he probably went defensive. So yeah, I went in and managed to kill off the 4, and only 2 lost in return. So that's another Saga dice gone from my opponent, even with just 1 unit. So we're looking something like this. I moved these guys up. This was probably the end of my turn. I can't remember what caused these guys to move. Yeah, I think it's just at the end of my turn. I've just moved these guys up. So he declares a charge, so I do an evade. I move my guys across to block him from going into my small unit, wiping them out. Again, I've done this before and it hasn't paid off, but I felt that it'll probably pay off just stopping getting the 3 points there and wiping out a unit. Yeah, maybe it would have just paid just to let them die. I'm not sure now, but I blocked them anyway. Also gave me another shot at them as well to try and do more damage. Obviously, none was done. Saying that, I probably didn't shoot because of that Odin ability. I remember now, for most of the game, it just sat on the board there, and I was afraid to throw anything in case I get my unit exhausted. And the fact that he was going to charge meant that this unit would get wiped out if they were exhausted. So no, I didn't throw any javelins at him. So I just took the punch in the face and managed to get away with 4 men. So I've still got my Saga dice, and still got 3 units left. So not too unhappy with that. So it's something like this now. In my turn, I go in. He's got an empty board, other than the Odin, which has been sitting there. So there's no point in me shooting. I just went straight in and managed to finish him off. So that was when my opponent wiped out, and that gave me 20. I think it was 24 massacre points, and a win for my first game. So I was quite happy with that. The only person that beat me on that one, I think, was the Scots player, who ended up with 25 massacre points after the first game. So that was pretty brutal. So that's game 1 out of the way, and victory to the Welsh. And now we can go on for some doubles.